So just yesterday, Google came out. No, let me correct this. Just yesterday, word got out that Google has internally given up on Google Stadia, their video game streaming service, and they are instead branding it Google Stream, and they're basically trying to use it as a like tech infrastructure for other developers to utilize. They are no longer interested in a consumer-facing subscription service or gaming platform. They want to just use the actual cloud streaming infrastructure for other developers. And this does not come as a surprise after Google already killed off. They shut down all of their internal game development studios that they had started, closed them after less than 2 years. They shut them all down. Everybody was either moved to somewhere else in Google or laid off. And Google is known. They developed this reputation, and I think it's becoming a serious problem for them. It already is a serious problem. They start these projects, they start building these products, and then they shut them down. They don't go all in, and many of them have such promise, and they seem to make sense, and then Google abandons them every time. I mean, let's try to think of a few, and if you could think of one, put it in chat. I mean, Google has Google.com, right? Massive success. They own the search engine market. They have YouTube. Massive success. They own that market. The Pixel phones, I would say, is probably their third most successful service. And if you could think of one that's more successful, again, feel free to correct me. They've been around for a few years. They've got a part of the market. Not huge. They're not number one in the space by any means. You know, iPhones and the Galaxy line, obviously doing better than the Pixel, but they've got a market for sure. They're there. But other than that, I mean, Stadia, we now know, basically dead. What was their internet called? Google, it wasn't just Google Fiber, was it? But when I first heard about that I was like, that's the next frontier, man. Google could take over on that front because it's, they could put fiber internet. They're a company that can actually afford to put, fiber internet throughout the entire country. And it was super fast. It was better than the competition, especially at the time when they put it out there. And I was like, man, this could be the next big thing. Like, this makes total sense for Google. Dangerous for the competition, right? Like, they could kill everybody else. Nope, hasn't happened. Hasn't really expanded all that much. Just kind of out there. They made the tech. It's amazing. And then they didn't expand it. Didn't fulfill its promise. Google Glass, right? Were like AR glasses, right? Really early AR glasses, I think. Not saying it was like the best thing at the time, or like, but now we're hearing more and more VR is coming into prominence. Apple has an AR headset or glasses in development. Now it's becoming a thing. If they just stuck with it, then maybe Google Glass would be a thing. Instead, they killed it off. They have killed off so many things without even really applying themselves. It really blows my mind. And like, that's why at this point, I'm not saying Google's going out of business. They're here to stay. But I'm saying at this point, I am personally scared to invest in something that is related to Google, because I would be scared they're just going to kill it off, right? Like, I'm not going to buy a Pixel phone because who knows, in 2 years they might shut off, we're not doing more Pixel phones, and eventually the software is going to stop updating, blah 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 blah. Who knows? And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people who feel this way about them, and this Stadia thing is just the latest. I know Jedi and I will be talking about this on the Nemesis podcast, but it's crazy, man. Like, you think with a company with that much money, they have the ability to weather the storm, to get into something early and then wait for it to take off, and then be like the first mover in the space, right? And invest in something, and maybe they take a loss in the beginning, but they can have a long-term vision to really take over the space or the metaverse. I'm gonna say it, but they constantly send things out. It seems like they just throw things to the wall, and then, like, if it doesn't immediately stick, they're like, all right, we're out. Like, It's not like they try again. It's not like they really try to, you know, they can innovate. They come up with these awesome ideas and the tech, and they've got the money to fulfill it and to market it, and then they never do. They just put it out there and just let it sink. And it blows my mind, because cloud gaming and subscription services are obviously going to be a huge thing in the future. Stadia could have been probably the #2 subscription service. There's Game Pass, who's killing it right now, but if Google went in on this, they could have been the #2. But instead, PlayStation's gonna slide in there at #2 when theirs comes out. But Stadia could have already been around for a few years and building, just like Game Pass. That's how Game Pass got so far ahead. But instead, again, and you know, famously, Hideo Kojima, this is like a behind the scene thing, Hideo Kojima reportedly is making an episodic cloud-based, like streaming-based horror game, reportedly. And well, he's apparently working with Xbox on it now, Xbox and Microsoft. But he pitched it to Google first, and Google had it. It was going to be a Stadia exclusive game. That's massive. And they let it fall through. They turned their back on it. And that's what I mean. Like, if Google actually went all in and tried to work with developers to get their games on Stadia. I mean, Bungie put Destiny on Stadia. If they actually tried to apply themselves and invested, they could have done it. But nope, here we are. Google Stadia, as we know it, is dead. Google Stream, I mean, at least the tech is solid. I think if you've played a cloud service, a game right now in 2022, whether it be on xCloud or Stadia or Luna, you'll find the tech is actually pretty impressive. So, you know, hopefully Google does get to continue to use this tech, because it is impressive. It's probably smart for them to do so at this point. Even it's just sad that they've botched this so bad. And they could have been a prominent player in the gaming space. There could have been new competition, and instead here they are just fumbling the ball again. It's just crazy. Fuego, fuego, fire, fire, fuego, fuego. He's up top. I can hear him creeping. Look at this. You want to peek me? Did we just trade? They better give me my own skin in this game. Oh my god. My bullets didn't register. You had lag. I have one eye, bro. One eye. The right one's glass. The right one is glass.